Good afternoon. We are presenting the management and organization in global environment today. Our topic is decision-making process. It's a group assignment of 5 members, myself, Purushottam Karnel, my friends, Osin Dakal, Samir Gupreti, Vinod Kesi, and Sanjit Burathoki. Okay, decision-making is a very important aspect of any business organization. A manager should have that knowledge and experience of decision making for the development and the future performance of the business. So it's a very complex process. He need to use his own intuition and his experience to decide what he is going to do, his organization is going to do. Next slide, please. So manager need to follow certain rules, certain steps in order to make a better decision. So the firstly, identification of problem. Then after identifying the problem, they need to set the criteria based on their company's limitations and restrictions. The third step is developing alternatives. The same problem might have different solutions, so he need to collect the alternative solutions as well. And after that, he should analyze the facts and figure or all the alternatives available around him. And after that, he should select the best one, what he thinks the best for the company, which suits best for the company. And the second last is applying that decisions into real action, into the company's day-to-day operations. And lastly, the evaluation of that decision made before or implemented before, whether it is according to our plan or not. Similarly, Herbert Simon, an expert, presents a 3-step model of decision making. Firstly, intelligence phase, where the manager uses his mind and brainstorming. And second, design phase, he collects different alternatives, as we said in previous slide. And lastly, choice phase means he picks up the best alternative among the available alternatives. So similarly, Henry Mintzberg also forward his similar phases. So there are a lot of things to present. To continue the further presentation, I would like to call my friend Osin Dakal. Thank you.
Thank you, Uttam. Hello, I'm Oshin. Today I'll be talking about decision-making approaches. As we know, various companies try to take a decision in various different approaches, but we have got 3 main approaches, which are rational approach, bounded rational approach, and the last one is intuitive-driven approach. The first one, rational approach, is used for like making a long-term decision, where like decision maker has got information which is sufficient to make any decision. He has got all the information, he has got alternatives, and he has got all the ideas. And also it is used to minimize the cost and maximize the benefit. The next one is bounded rational approach. In this approach, the decision maker has got limitation of ideas. He has got limitation of information, cognitive ideas, and also limitation of time. But actually this decision making process is logical and economic as well. The last one is intuitive driven approach, where there is no there is no like logical reasonings given to the idea of the decision maker. Here the decision maker make a decision according to what he thinks is better for him, or according to his what he believes, what he thinks is true. So these are the 3 approaches of decision making. Now I will talk about the Solomon experiment. Here the Solomon, he took an experiment in a big group of people, like around 50 people, where he, in a class where he shows 2 different, like the figure as it's seen in the screen, where he shows one exhibit 1 and exhibit 2. Actually exhibit 1 has got a bar which is similar to A in exhibit B, but the thing is there are various group of people who were actually the assistants of the Solomon, and only one was the real subject. So he tried to experiment that whether the pressure from other people could affect the perception of individual or not, where he find like when the group of people give the answer like A, actually the answer is A, but the group of the people was like saying the answer was B. So that the individual, actually when he asked the individual who was the real subject, he also replied the answer is B.
to understand the obedience to authority. Under this experiment, there are three people: experimenter, teacher, and learner. The experimenter orders the teacher to give electric shock to the learner for his mistake that he did, and under this experiment, the test found that the high proportion of men who were involved in this experiment obeys the instruction, and moreover, the test found that the very few people have the capacity to resist the power or authority of the other person or experimenter. Now I would like to call Vinod Keshi to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Samir. It's me, Vinod Keshi. Today I am going to present on social influence and prejudice. Thank you, Samir. It's me, Vinod Keshi. Today I am going to present on social influence, peer pressure, and sequential effect on decision making. In social influence, friends, family, colleagues have different opinion and they affect in decision making. Another is the opinion leader. They also do have effect on decision making, and in sequential effect also have some degree of influence on decision making, which gets influenced by some initial decision. Similarly, I am talking about another point, which is escalation of commitment. This is putting huge amount of money on already made decision, which is bad for the organization. Organizations should be made aware of this one. We should not repeat this type of mistake in the further running of the business, which may be great loss to the organization. Now I would like to call Sanjit for the further discussion of our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vinod, for calling me. And our next slide is stakeholders approach in social influence. Organization, there are different level of authority and different level of peoples, and decision organization that takes the decision affects all the stakeholders at all level of the organization, and multiple advocacy approach. In this approach, all the groups that are affected by the decision making are consulted before the decision making. So it's more like a participative approach. And health-based organization, NGOs, socio-cultural groups, union, communities, political, these all affect decision making for the organization. Yeah, next slide please. And in conclusion, generic and specific environment affects organization decision making. In this generic, like general things that are in the environment, and specific like political influence and socio-cultural norms, socio-cultural aspect of the people decision making. And decision, the organization should, while taking the decision, should be based upon the organization structure, organization position, and managers should use their own knowledge and skills regarding the decision making, and they should also follow the given process, and they should do the required consultation with all groups of people in order to make the decision and help the organization grow effectively and efficiently. And thank you.
This is the end of our presentation. Thank you, teacher, and thank you, my friends, for coming today. And actually, our presentation may be quite short because we try to make it short and simple and try to give every ideas as possible. That's